Hey, what's up, guys? Got some comments in one of the other videos asking about the fairing that I have on the bike, so figured to make it easier to answer them by just posting a video. We're using the GoPro today, so if it looks a little bit different or shaky, I'll try to work on that, but I thought it might give a little bit better quality. To start, again, like I said, I'll put the link to the fairing in the description, so if you want to see what fairing it is, it's spelled F-A-C-E-T-I-M, if you want to call it Factim. I'm not sure, so however you want to say it, but this is it. So for starters, a lot of comments on the fairing or questions in forums and social media groups are the brackets that you might need to mount it. That being said, I didn't purchase any extra bracket for the fairing itself. The only thing I bought separate was the headlight extension bracket from Memphis Shades. It's $29.99 on Revzilla's website. And all that does is it supplies you with these two brackets, left and right side. So this is the stock mounting bolt and bracket piece. It comes with these two extensions that you see right here, and then this bolt. There's one each side, like I said, so it's basically two bars that come out, and what that does is it brings the headlight forward, and then with the adjustment here and back there, this one allows you to shift the headlight backward and forward to move the beam up or down, and then this one in the back, with loosening this, you can actually move the headlight up and down so as to be able to center the headlight in the fairing. So depending on what fairing you have, you can shift that up and down. I have it to what I think is centered right now, and then as well as brought the headlight to be as flush as I could, straight up and down with the fairing. Before I had the bracket, the headlight was actually sucked back in there, so it kind of looked a little funky. It worked just fine, just might not be the best look. So that's that. We'll stop talking about the bracket for the headlight. So the fairing itself, for the windshield to mount to the fairing, you have two bolts on the bottom, one right here and one right here, and then you have one right here and one right here on the top. These just go through the fairing, and then those top two, you have a support bracket, one right here and one right here on the windshield. I don't know if you can tell or not, but there's really no movement on the windshield. With wind and riding, no issue, as well as no real vibration. I'll show you where I think that some people get vibrations from in a second, but as far as those top brackets, you just got little mounting bolts right here that come up to those. So underneath, hopefully you can see this, but for the actual fairing itself, there's one main bracket that bolts up underneath the riser bolts. So just loosen the riser bolts up, slide the bracket in, and then the bracket here moves up and mounts to the side of the fairing in here. Let's see if we can get some more light in there and get a better look. So yeah, that bolt that you see up there brings you to the riser bolt mount, which you can see right there. As far as the bottom mount, really simple. I used the stock one, to be honest with you. I thought it was a lot easier. It's right here, but this is the stock Lowrider S mount. All I did was flip it upside down. Literally took it and flipped it over and bolted it right back on, and there's no movement in the fairing whatsoever. I mean, you can see it's solid. And then once you line it up, you should have a nice gap right here on this side, and a nice gap on this side on the fork. And see, I think honestly a lot of people's vibration, what that comes from is the fairing touching right here gives you a vibration. And then with full lock left, there's no issue. We're not hitting the tank, we're not rubbing on anything. Same thing, full lock right, nice gap, no issue. I like this fairing. Obviously it's very inexpensive. It looks good. It's nice and wide enough to where I think if there was any crazy road debris, it would block it from destroying the paint on the tank, if you can see how wide it is. However, it sits really good up and down. It has a good angle. I like when the fairing is more straight up and down than it is leaned back. Just my preference. But when I put this on and saw the line from the front where it's going straight down and the line that's coming in at this angle with the forks, I thought it looked really good. It might seem like a silly thing to be looking at, but honestly, I think it looks really good. So again, I will post the link to the fairing in the comments, and if there's, or I'm sorry, in the description. And if there's anything else you want to know about it, just feel free to ask. I can do another video if need be and actually pull it off and put it back on, but I think the instructions that came with it are pretty simple, and seeing as everything was already assembled on the fairing, all I had to do was put the windshield on and then slide that bracket in underneath the riser bolts. I mean, you can't get any easier than that. But that's it. Oh, you know what? One more thing. I apologize. So my only complaint is, and I hope you can kind of tell, the windshield is not the best quality. It's you know, 5 out of 10 if you want to rate it on a 1 to 10 scale. If you're taller than me, which you probably are, I'm only 5'6". I sit, so this is eye level. I'm just barely looking over the windshield. Taller than me, you probably wouldn't have an issue, but it's a little fuzzy. If you can tell from the video, it's not super clear. Hasn't seemed to bother me a lot. I guess it's not a big deal, but I just didn't want to, you know, somebody buy and say, well, I watched this video and, you know, you didn't say nothing about that. But that's it. The quality of the windshield, if I was going to say anything about it, it's not the greatest. I don't know what plastic you're going to find or what the screen's made out of that's going to be real great. So maybe people are having the same issue with other ones. But yeah, that's it. Paint was good. No scratches, no dents, no weird blemishes. It's been on here for months now. Absolutely no issues. So I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching the video. Hopefully you like it, and if you don't mind hitting the subscribe button for any future videos. We're going to do another fluids change, which we didn't do the video last time, and then after the fluids change, probably another one for cleaning up the exhaust. I got some more weird stains and stuff, so we'll do that next too. But I appreciate it. You guys appreciate it. Have a good one and ride safe.